BYU is often a team that is tough as an underdog. We saw that last week when they got a big cover against UCLA. They're 3-0 against the spread so far this year, and they will once again be an underdog in week 4, this time against Michigan. And we are going to talk with Al McMordie from BigAl.com to get his take on this game. I'm Peter Loshak. You're watching SBR Videos. And Al McMordie, Michigan has started out this year a little bit overvalued, right? 1-2 against the spread. That's not really a surprise. A lot of people were anticipating that with all the hype surrounding new coach Harbaugh. Here they are giving 5.5 points to BYU. I'm wondering if a close, loss, but a big cover against UCLA maybe took something out of him, or if it's just a similar situation and BYU is not getting enough respect and they have value as an underdog. The total's 44.5, so obviously the market is expecting a very low-scoring game here. What's your take on this game, Al?
Well, this game brings back memories for me. I don't know if you're old enough to remember it, but these two teams last met in 1984. It was in the Holiday Bowl, and that was Brigham Young's championship season. And Brigham Young got stuck with they were 6-5 going into the game, Michigan was, and then Michigan lost the bowl game and finished 6-6. And that was, at the time, like the worst season Michigan had in forever. And the reason Michigan was so bad that year in 1984 was because Jim Harbaugh, its quarterback, got injured early in the season. So then Michigan had to turn to backup Chris Zurbrugg, and Michigan was just dreadful that entire season. And actually, as an aside, to show you how much the game has changed over the years, Chris Zurbrugg set at the time an all-time record for passing yards for the University of Michigan for a single game when he passed for, wait for this, 259 yards. Now,
yep.
Quarterback passes for 259 yards, you think he had a bad game. But Brigham Young won that ball game. Of course, now you're looking 31 years later, and Jim Harbaugh's back on the sidelines. I think Harbaugh's going to lead the team to victory here. Michigan's given up 7 points in back-to-back games. That's a very positive indicator, especially when a team's at home and laying single digits, as Michigan is. Brigham Young is off 3 straight covers as an underdog, and that's generally a bad thing. In fact, teams off 3 straight covers as an underdog are a poor 47-86 against the spread.
Wow.
The last 30 years were matched up against 350 or better opponents off a double-digit win. I think everything lines up for the Wolverines here. And I actually disagree with you a little bit. I don't think Michigan is overvalued. They actually out-yarded Utah. They just had a lot of mistakes in that first game. And then, of course, their next 2 games, they were huge favorites. So they, of course, were going to, win those games pretty easily. I don't really hold it against Michigan that it didn't cover the spread in its last game. But I like Michigan here, laying 5.5 points. I think the number is very favorable for a Michigan cover.
Wow. Typically very interesting and thorough analysis from Al McMordie, BigAl.com. Right now the line, it has gotten bet up a little bit. It was 4.5 earlier in the week. Right now Michigan minus 5.5. And Al McMordie sees value with Michigan as the favorite. Al, tell us what your website, BigAl.com, is all about. That's where you have all your top plays every week, right?
Yeah, and I've been in business since 1992. A lot of handicappers are haven't stood the test of time. I've won 39 handicapping championships in my 23-year career, including the $100,000 World Series of Sports Handicapping a few years ago. And folks can go to BigAl.com and they can click on Picks for Sale to get all of our best selections. And it's not just from myself, but we've got 16 handicappers at the website. Folks can get the best plays from myself, from Larry Ness, Ben Burns, Scott Spreitzer, Brandon Shively, Brian Leonard. I could go on and on. Lots of terrific information at the website. And if you don't want to purchase any selections, that's okay. You can get complimentary winners every day. And there are 4 free selections every day at BigAl.com. 2 for myself, 1 from Larry Ness, 1 from Scott Spreitzer. Folks can just go to the website and go to the homepage and also click on the free picks page for all 4 of those free winners, and just go to BigAl.com every day.
All right, Al, thanks for your analysis. Once again, talk to you next week.